And when every lamp was put in those crevices, it lit up the whole church building so everyone could see. But when one lantern, one family was missing, that area was dark. Do you realize how important you are to the body of Christ and this membership?
Amen.
Let me give you another illustration. At a meeting, and some of y'all might really relate to this, at a meeting of the American Psychological Association, psychiatrist, Jack Lipton, a psychiatrist at Union College in Scott Boulevard, a graduate student at Columbia University, presented their findings on how members of the various sections of 11 major symphony orchestra perceived each other. This is the orchestra perceiving other members of that orchestra. He said this: the percussionists were viewed as insensitive, unintelligent, and hard of hearing, yet unloved. He said the string players were seen as arrogant, stuffy, and unathletic. He said the orchestra members overwhelmingly chose loud as the primary objective to describe the brass players. The woodwind players seemed to be held in the highest esteem, described as quiet, mischievous, though a bit egotistical. And with such a wide diversity of divergent personalities and perceptions, how could an orchestra ever come together to make such wonderful music? That was the question that was asked. And he said the simple answer is this. He said, regardless of how these musicians viewed each other, they subordinate their feelings and biases to the leadership of the conductor. Under his guidance, they play beautiful music together. When we learn how to be our place under the leadership of Christ, we'll be able to play some beautiful music here at Nebo Baptist Church. We'll be able to do some marvelous things with God on our side. We'll be able to, matter of fact, when somebody walks through that door, if they're saved, they'll be able to rejoice. If they're lost, if they get under conviction.
Amen.
Because the body of Christ has come together. But let me finish up with this. Verse 21 through verse 27 of that chapter. Now, there is complete unity in the midst of such diversity, though. See, the disunity in Corinth came from some who felt they didn't need the rest of the body. See, your body is very important. Have you ever run across somebody that's missing a finger? Or missing a toe? Missing a limb? My dad was missing 2 fingers and the first knuckle of his hand. When you come to shake his hand, you'd shake 2 fingers. And you'd look down and 2 of his fingers were missing. He got them cut off in cotton meal. And if you was to look at his hand, you'd think, well, his hand was incomplete. He learned how to use the 2 fingers and the thumb, but his hand was never complete because he was missing 2 members of that hand. Do you realize how important you are? You may not be the hand, you may be the foot. You ever thought about this? You take away the foot, you fall. You lose your foundation. You lose your, when you lose your foundation, what do? You fall over. That's how important your feet are. That's how important your hands are. That's how important your eyes. Can you imagine your eyes say, well, I don't need the ears. Well, you need the ears where you can hear. Your ears need your eyes where you can see. Your eyes and your ears need your mouth where you can speak forth the word of God. Every member is important to the body of Christ. You are important. See, Paul's argument is this. Parts which seem or maybe appear useless are in fact to the proper functioning of the body of Christ. You are important. No matter what your job is, whether it's going out there and cleaning the restroom, or sweeping the floor, or painting the outside, or putting up a light, no matter what you do, you are important to the body of Christ. Amen. By the way, the ones that are in the background that you're not recognizing is probably more important than I am. I'm not the one coming in here changing our light bulbs. I'm not the one sweeping the floors. Somebody graciously comes in and sweeps the floors. Somebody graciously goes and cleans them restrooms. Somebody comes in here and makes sure everything is ready for Sunday. Somebody else prepares meals. Other folks gets ready for the music program. Teachers are getting ready for Sunday school. All those things makes up the body of Christ. That's why the church needs each and every one that comes in.
Amen.
By the way, did you realize that some things people think, well, we don't need that? I'll give you a good example. You ever thought about your appendix? The appendix has long suffered the disrespect of being viewed as useless in the body. It's often seen as a relic, long ago sidelined by the process, but it all seems to do, all it does seem to get occasionally infected. You've heard of appendicitis. Yet recently scientists have discovered that the appendix augments the bacteria which helps your digestive system. It helps you digest food and things you put in your body. The bacteria in your digestive tract uses the appendix to get reprieve or respite from the strains of the frazzled activity of the gut. And I can look around and you can look at me and tell we put a lot of things in our gut. The appendix is an organ where certain bacteria is bred to help keep the gut at sufficient levels. Or to put it another way, if the President of the United States stopped working for 3 weeks, the government would continue on. But in that same 3-week period, if the garbage men quit picking up your garbage, what would happen? Big difference in it.
Amen.
Now, both of them are essential, but one that you don't even think about seems to be more essential than the other.
Right.
I don't remember what city it was, but there was garbage men went on a 3-week strike. And in that 3-week strike, every citizen suffered an impact because the garbage began to pile up and it became a health problem because garbage just kept piling up. And you think, well, garbage men ain't that important. Yes, they are. Do you really think that God, who is wise enough to have a purpose for an appendix, some people think is a useless organ, is not wise enough to put you and I in a place for a purpose for His honor and glory? You are here for a reason. I'm glad you're here. Amen. If you would do this for me, I want you to take your right hand and raise it up. Do this. Take yourself on the back. I had a pastor, matter of fact, Gary mentioned this morning, Brother Charles, you say if you don't toot your horn, your horn goes untooted. Sometimes you don't pat yourself on the back, your back goes unpatted. Sometimes I just like to come around y'all and pat y'all on the back and say, hey, you're doing a great job. You're doing a great job cleaning the church. You're doing a great job cooking and organizing things. You're doing a great job by getting ready to do a fellowship hall. You're doing a great job of whatever you're leading, teaching Sunday school. You're doing a great job. Because nobody can do the job exactly the way you do it. See, maybe you're not doing what God's called you to do. We're not sitting here to be pew potatoes. We're sitting here to work. Right? To be busy for God. You say, well, preacher, I'm not qualified to do this, that, or the other. Well, you got qualities that God wants to use. Yeah. Your purpose is to find out the qualities you got and use it for His glory. Right? And when you begin to use it for His glory, then He gets the praise. Amen. Let's stand tonight as we go to God's prayer. I just wanted to make sure y'all knew how important y'all are in the body. This is a we thing, not a me thing. And I just want to say I'm not a lone ranger. I need each and every one of you to come alongside us, to pray for us, to lift us up, and to keep marching forward. So let's bow our heads tonight. The altar is always open, so if you need to come and pray, why not come and pray? Why not get along with God tonight? Ask God. Maybe you're not doing anything yet, and you want to find out what God wants you to do. I've got no better place than at the altar to pray. God, what would you have me do? You may be here tonight and say, well, preacher, I've just got so much on my plate already, I can't put nothing else on it. Well, maybe pray and ask God what He would want you to take off your plate that you might use for His glory. As we bow, as we pray. The altar's still open. Heavenly Father, I thank you tonight. I thank you for your praise. Lord, of lifting up this church. God, I thank you for these folks here tonight. Lord, I pray that you'd search their hearts. That, Lord, we'd all get busy. Lord, we may not all be called to preach, but we are all called to enlist others to come into your house. Lord, we may not all be called to teach, but we can give our testimony to a lost and dying world. Lord, we may not all have a voice to sing, but God, we can serve you and live for you. Lord, tonight I pray that you'd search our hearts. Lord, that you'd search us to where, Lord, we'd be doing the work you've called us to do. Lord, there's a lot of jobs here that, God, we need more workers for. Lord, we know the harvest is plenteous, but the laborers are few. God, we want to see you do something great in this place. Lord, just take over. Lord, we praise you. We give you the glory. Lord, we ask it in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. I appreciate you being here tonight. We're going to dismiss in a word of prayer. Was the altar still open? The altar never closed. So if you need to come and pray, you come and pray. But is it good to be in God's house?
Amen.
Boy, this is a different service tonight.
Yeah.
A little bit different, and that's quieter. Yep. So if you're in the choir, if you've got choir practice, take a few minutes and we're going to come back in, and so all the choir can come up. But let's dismiss in a word of prayer. Let's dismiss in a word of prayer. Look, Gary, if you dismiss.
Well, Father, Lord God, we're studying tonight, Lord God. We're all part of the body of Christ, Lord God. I just ask you, Lord, that we'll search ourselves and see where we need to fit, Lord God, on that body. Father, as we leave from here tonight, Lord God, and some of us stay, Lord God, for the choir practice, Lord God, I just ask you, Lord, that we'll lift our praises unto you, God. You get all honor and glory out of it in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. You dismiss. Don't forget, Wednesday night, 7 o'clock. We're in